Okay, so breaking news, breaking in the last 20 or 30 minutes or so. Sammy Guevara has been suspended indefinitely by AEW. Now, AEW has released a statement regarding the offensive comments made by Sammy Guevara about Sasha Banks from a 2016 podcast interview that recently surfaced on social media. Now, if you weren't aware of these comments that Sammy Guevara made, I won't repeat verbatim what he said because what he said was disgusting. It was abhorrent. It was no way to talk about anyone, regardless of their gender. It was just vile, regardless of when it was said, what context it was said in, any of that stuff. It was not good, and it was not. It was disgusting. There's not much more I can really say about it. It was awful. It was disgusting. Social media was heavily critical of the comments and heavily critical that he got away with it until today. And these things were said without any repercussions. And basically, we were waiting all day for the apology from Sammy Guevara, for the statement from AEW, and from the statement from Sasha Banks, all of which we have got. So Sammy Guevara first was to release a statement. To be honest, I was surprised how long it took to release a statement, quite frankly. But we'll get into what Sammy Guevara himself tweeted. He said, quote, "I've made stupid, inappropriate, and extremely offensive comments in my past. In my idiotic mind, I thought I was being funny in using words and terms that represent nothing but horror and pain. I am truly sorry for my hurtful words and actions, and I will never forgive myself." Now, this was followed up by a statement by Sasha Banks, but I will just touch on the other statement because there was a follow-up statement that Sammy Guevara also tweeted in which he did actually apologize. So he said, quote, "I also want to apologize to Sasha Banks, WWE, her Twitter handle, for my unacceptable comments. She's an amazing person who didn't deserve to be the brunt of my offensive remarks. I spoke with her earlier and she helped me learn a gigantic lesson, and I thank her for that. Once again, I'm sincerely sorry." Now, as I mentioned, Sasha Banks also released a statement on her Twitter account at Sasha Banks WWE. She said, quote, "Earlier I spoke with Sammy, he apologized and we had an open discussion. Words like the comments he made, jokingly or not, have absolutely no place in our society. I don't condone or tolerate this kind of behavior. What one thinks is just a side comment can have a massive impact on someone else's life and can send the wrong message. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions and the words we say. And I hope from this situation shows him that. I hope from this point on, in order for growth and change within our community to take place, we all can continue to have these conversations. No person, man, woman, or child should ever be subjected to a feeling of fear or an unsafe environment. We have to do better, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. Sincerely, Mercedes Bernardo. So Sasha Banks' real name there. And then this was followed up by a statement by Sammy Guevara, which said, quote, "AEW insists on doing our part to create a world of understanding and respect for humankind. We therefore strongly condemn the extremely offensive and hurtful words of Sammy Guevara. As such, effective immediately, Sammy is suspended without pay until further notice. Sammy has agreed to undergo extensive sensitivity training, and upon completion, his future status within the company will be re-evaluated. During his suspension, his salary will be donated to the Women's Center of Jacksonville." Now, there's a lot to break down there, of course. First of all, as I mentioned, I can't condemn enough the comments by Sammy Guevara. I think they were disgusting. I don't care when they were, what context they were said in. Jokingly or not, as Sasha Banks said, your words can hurt people more than you really realize. And as a role model, he should know better, even if it was however long ago it was. It's not good enough and it's not right. Now, I think I have to commend Sasha Banks in all of this. I think the way she's handled the situation, her statement, I think was world class. I think she truly lived up to her role model moniker there. She didn't deserve to be dragged into this. She didn't deserve to have inappropriate and disgusting remarks made about her, and for her to be dragged in and spoken about in that kind of way is abhorrent. But I think she handled it to perfection. I think her statement was phenomenal, and look, I know that Sammy Guevara in his follow-up tweet said that he apologized to Sasha Banks, because in his first one he didn't. He apologized for his comments, but he didn't apologize directly to Sasha Banks. We have since learned that, of course, he rung her up, spoke to her over the phone, had a discussion, apologized to her there, and also apologized to her publicly, which is better. But there's still actions speak louder than words ever can in these kind of situations. So for me, I would like to see real change, real remorse from Sammy Guevara. What that entails, we'll have to wait and see. As I mentioned, I think Sasha Banks has handled this phenomenally. I don't think she could have handled this any better. She's the one coming out of this with class and dignity, considering the one she was the one that was spoken about without dignity. So I think Sasha Banks has to be commended for her actions and the way that she's handled this. I think AEW as well has to be commended of the way they've handled this. I would have liked to have seen a statement quicker from AEW and not take so long. I mean, we're currently over here in the UK at 9:40, so 20 minutes to 10. So over in America, that's 20 to 5, just after 4:30. I would have preferred this statement to be released around midday, considering it was a big story at midday. It's been a big story all day on social media, but I suppose they have to get these things in place, talk to the talent, and ensure that the talent, in this case Sammy Guevara, reaches out and speaks to Sasha Banks, which she has. I think that the indefinite suspension is the right thing to do. I think the sensitivity training is the right thing to do. People will roll their eyes at that because we know sometimes what these kind of things can do. These trainings, sometimes these trainings are nothing. Sometimes these trainings don't do anything. And I guess some people will roll their eyes at that. But I hope that he takes the training seriously, and I hope he takes the training well, and I hope he learns a lot from this situation and the training. It doesn't make his words correct. It doesn't make his actions right, but I think AEW is doing the right thing here. I think the indefinite suspension is the right thing. I think the training is the right thing. Absolutely, he should donate his salary. I don't think he should be getting paid as a role model at this period of time whilst he is under suspension for these actions. This is absolutely the right course of action by AEW to take. Now, I know some people will be calling for his head in terms of him being terminated. I think AEW has done the right thing here in delaying that till further down the line. As I mentioned earlier, actions speak louder than words when it comes to this. Now, this was a comment 4 years ago, which doesn't make it acceptable. But he must have had time during this period of time to grow, to show remorse, and to learn. Now, maybe he has and maybe he hasn't, but this period of time is the time to show remorse and to grow and to learn. That is why AEW has decided to wait until he's completed this sensitivity training, decided to complete his suspension, whereby at the end of that, they can then reevaluate his position with the company. I don't think that's completely secure at this point. I would hope it isn't. I would hope AEW hasn't said to him, don't worry about your status with the company, you're fine. I hope they'll say, look, you have to go and prove to us that you are really remorseful. You have to go and prove to us that you know you made a mistake, and you have to prove to us that you have learnt. Because, and I saw, this was the general feedback that I saw on social media when it came to this. We've all made mistakes, right? No one's criticizing Sammy Guevara for making a mistake. What people are criticizing Sammy Guevara for is the nature of the words he used. Okay? Nobody should joke about any form of sexual assault or anything like that. That's not a punchline, okay? That's not funny. So that's just what that is. That isn't a mistake. That's disgusting behavior. That's different than making a mistake. So whilst, yes, some people are calling for his head, I don't think they should go that far just yet. I'm with a believer that he does deserve an opportunity to prove he is remorseful. Not remorseful for being caught, or not remorseful for the clip resurfacing on social media. He has to be remorseful for his actions. As Sasha Banks said, everyone should be held accountable for their actions. Regardless of when, where, and what they did, they should be held accountable for the actions and for the words that they've said and the damage that they can cause to other people. Not Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara shouldn't be worried about, wow, what I said, it damaged my career. No. He should be worried about the effect of his words on other people, how it made other people feel, and how it really could have affected other people. That's what Sammy Guevara needs to show remorse for. And time will tell whether he really is remorseful for it or he's remorseful that this is the situation right now. Because there's a massive difference. We've seen that with this speaking out movement. There's a difference between apologizing that you got caught and apologizing for your actions. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Of course, if we hear anything else, we will let you know, and you'll be the first to hear it here. But what are your thoughts on this situation? What are your thoughts on Sammy Guevara's comments about Sasha Banks? What are your thoughts about his apology? What are your thoughts about the statement made by Sasha Banks? And ultimately, what are your thoughts on the actions taken by All Elite Wrestling to suspend Sammy Guevara indefinitely without pay and reevaluate his status with the company at a future time? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you've come across this video today, and I'll speak with you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.